Good evening. Thank you for joining us. A day after the stabbing death of a St. Gabriel police captain, the investigative unit uncovered a bombshell about what led to the killing.
The Iberville Parish Sheriff's Office confirms Captain Devin Boutte and the suspect Warren Mitchell were in a relationship that spun out of control for both of them. Best casualty with what she uncovered.
Michael, Sylvia, this explosion.
Let's start off here, guys. They gave us quite a bit of context in that initial summation of everything, which is the person who was killed was that police officer who was actually a captain. And if you don't know anything about the ranking system in law enforcement, a captain is very high. A captain is above a lieutenant. I think the only two positions higher than a captain would be the major and the chief. So this guy, the light-skinned guy, the police officer had a very high position, a very good career, very good profession, and he was moving up. So he's involved, just so you have the visual, with this guy, the inmate, who looks like Lil Uzi Vert. And what a stark contrast this is, right? I mean, these guys were lovers. Imagine these two walking down the street. That doesn't look very, and I'm not saying, hey, we're all human, you don't have to have the same image in order to be with somebody or able to see what's inside somebody and like that. But I mean, you got a criminal on this side. He even looks like it a little bit. And then you've got this guy who is well put together, Officer Boutte. And, the only thing degenerate about him, I guess it would have to be that Jerry curl. I wouldn't even call it degenerate. It's just sheesh. But it looks like he's got good hair, so maybe that might save him. But let's get back into the story. Let me not ramble, y'all.
Devin Boutte and the suspect Warren Mitchell were in a relationship that spun out of control for both of them. Best casualty with what she uncovered.
Michael, Sylvia, this explosive information comes from the sheriff's office, where investigators told me Boutte and Mitchell were already on their radar after several tips. On Sunday, news of 34-year-old police captain Devin Boutte's potential murder rocked the small community of St. Gabriel.
Devin was in love with the police department and the city of St. Gabriel. He loved this community and they loved him.
Boutte's chief, Kevin Ambo, was the first person to find his body.
Hopefully I'll never have to witness something like that again.
He tells us it was Boutte's boyfriend, Warren Mitchell III, who alerted him.
I was notified by the sent officer out. I came out and checked myself, and I ended up finding him succumbed to his injuries.
Mitchell confessed over the phone. The sheriff's office says Boutte was...
That mugshot looked funny. I'm talking about the first one. Hold on. The mugshot with him. No, not that one. Look at this mugshot, y'all. So if I'm looking at this, my first telltale sign is that my boy has facial hair with no mustache. So that's already a flag on the play on so many levels, right? And even in the other picture, hold on. I'm joking, y'all. I'm being a little facetious. Look at this. Now he's got the full beard with no mustache. What are you doing, man? That already lets me know you're a little off upstairs, because that just doesn't make any sense. Again, look at this contrast between these two. These guys were lovers, and they were apparently in a lover's quarrel. So they were beefing. So it sounds like this guy murdered this guy, and we still don't know why. But what we also know now is that he was being investigated. So, and just to let you guys know, the title of the video is Officer Found Dead Had Supplied Drugs to Kill It. So he was also supplying drugs to Buddy. So let's let them give us more context, more detail, because I just want to really understand why he was involved with him and he put his whole career on the line, and a flourishing one at that, a flourishing career.
Over the phone, the sheriff's office says Booty was ambushed here in his home while he was sleeping. Mitchell allegedly stabbed him twice.
I'm not laughing that he was ambushed in his home, but I mean, so these two guys were lovers, and the chief's name is Booty. I thought it was Boucher, but it's Booty. So it sounds like his family kind of knew his future from preconception, apparently, or he has someone in his lineage who didn't give a fuck, because whoever this great grandfather was that decided to create the lineage of the Boutés, it's like, why would you do that? Because I don't care what time period you were in, naming somebody Bouté was always going to get them bullied in school. So whoever the granddad is, he had a hard life, and he decided his whole lineage was going to feel it. But enough of the jokes, guys. Let's get back to the video. Let's get serious now.
He was sleeping. Mitchell allegedly stabbed him twice, once in the front and in the back. Investigators recovered that kitchen knife still inside Bouté when they arrived. But they also recovered inside the home that the...
Hold on. She said Officer Bouté was stabbed in the front and in the back with the knife, just so we're clear. And then he left it. When he stabbed him the last time, he left the knife still inside him for him to be discovered with the knife still there. Wow. If that doesn't tell you that this had to clearly have been a crime of passion, and this guy was filled with emotions, it sounds like filled with rage, and this is supposed to be his lover. I gotta hear some more of this, because it's pretty long. It's a 4-minute video, and we're only 1:30 through, so I'm gonna let it play for a little bit so we can really get the details.
Police captain and Mitchell had been sharing drugs. According to the sheriff's office, Booty had been providing Mitchell with weed and meth to sell and use.
It seems to be that Booty lost his direction through the relationship with this man. It clouded his judgment.
Sheriff Brett Stassi says he had gotten a tip about this weeks ago.
And it would be our jurisdiction.
And actually asked the Attorney General's office to investigate Booty just 10 days before he was killed.
Already under
There's nothing that you can compare this crime to any other that I can remember in recent years.
The suspect, 25-year-old Warren Mitchell III, has a lengthy criminal past.
Drugs, robbery, even some indecent
really shouldn't have been
behavior
dealing with him.
Back when he was a juvenile.
And was even a suspect in a murder in Texas in 2021.
And he was a suspect
in
in a
fact,
murder
he was
already.
out on bond for a robbery he allegedly committed last month when the stabbing happened.
We've talked to the people in the community.
Stassi says that robbery was a key point in the pair's increasingly toxic relationship.
He thought that he was trapped in this relationship and this was the only way out. He had attempted a couple times prior to get out of this relationship, and he couldn't seem to get away.
Meaning what exactly?
A few weeks ago, he did a robbery at a store, knowing that he would be arrested and brought to jail, and that in fact happened. He posted a $27,000 bond, and Captain Booty went to the store and tried to repay the money, and asked that they would come forward to drop charges.
Despite the term not being used officially, the situation between Booty and Mitchell has all the red flags of domestic violence.
He used some coercion and...
So he was... I wonder if that gives a little bit more insight into the motive, because what it sounds like is actually Lil Uzi Vert the criminal, the career criminal, robbery. He was already in a case for murder, and he was basically being coerced and blackmailed to continue a relationship with Officer Boutte. So Boutte, it sounds like, was keeping that over his head in order to keep them together. And it's possible that maybe the intent was for him to just be able to escape Officer Boutte's grasp. Wow. So there's a lot going on with this. And so and also there was a conflict of interest because an officer, especially a captain, should not be dealing with a criminal. That is a conflict of interest, right? As the chief so nicely outlined here. And I also want to talk about the chief for a second. We're going to go off script for a little bit. I think we pretty much got the whole story, but this is just a me thing. Why? Why do we keep the cul-de-sac? Why do we keep the George Jefferson? And this is a me thing, right? Because if you guys don't know me and this is your first time on my channel, I'm big about being a professional. And to me, that looks unprofessional. Him still keeping these side things. And, you know, everybody has what they consider professional. Some people will say you can't wear dreadlocks. You can't have tattoos anywhere, let alone your face or your neck. But to me, that doesn't look clean. That's like Wolverine to me. And I feel like, for one, obviously, Chief here would look way better without that. Just say if he had the baldy, that thing would look clean, right? But more importantly, either we're going to keep it or we're going to let it go. Because this little hair on the side, to me, that doesn't look dignified at all. That looks like you just don't give a fuck. And that's why we have these stipulations for everybody else, because you don't want people just showing up to work looking like they don't give a F. But that's my opinion. Some people won't think that. Some people will just say it's an elderly look. But guys, I think we pretty much got the gist of this video. I just did my little spiel. I'm having fun with this one. You know, if you all want to see more of my self-improvement content, that's where I'm more serious. But for these reactions, I like to just have fun. I like to let my hair down a little bit. So guys, like the video. I need that. Also subscribe to the channel if you want to join the Limitless Legion. And Cash App's in the description if you want to tip the channel. But I need the like. And guys, send me reaction content to react to. Help me in the sourcing of this material so it can be a lot faster for me and I can just get it out. Otherwise, I also have to try to find things to react to as well. So appreciate you guys for the support, and I'll catch you in the next video.